Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a bridal makeup tutorial for all of you future brides or anybody who has a formal event in the future. I have my prom and this is probably what I'm gonna be wearing just because it's very long lasting but also very flawless, natural, but at the same time very dramatic. So first I'm using my favorite La Roche-Posay Effeclar K moisturizer, and before that I'm using my MAC Fix Plus spray to make sure that my makeup is going to last the whole night, and it's also going to hold on to the skin and make it look very smooth, and the makeup is going to glide on a lot better. Then I'm going to use my Vichy Dermablend foundation in the shade Opal and my MAC 188 brush to stipple it onto the skin, and then in circular motions really blend it in to get that flawless, perfect finish. Also, if you have any spots or anything you'd like to conceal, just use a little bit more of this foundation, which has incredible coverage, and just use your fingers to dab around it and then just slightly with a brush go over it. Then I'm using an eyeshadow primer potion, which is a crucial step for these kinds of events because you really want to make sure the eyeshadow is going to last the whole night without creasing, and also the colors to look really vibrant. So I'm using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in Eden, which is also going to neutralize any redness in my eyelid. Then I'm also going to fill in my brows with my L'Oreal Brow Artist Design in Bold Brunette. And the brows are a really important step because they really do frame the eyes. So do any essential step that you feel is necessary for your brows. Maybe if you have really good shape, you don't have to do as much work as I do. But I always use a pencil to fill in any gaps, and then use my translucent brow set also from L'Oreal to set them in place and make sure they won't budge during the night. And then after that we can move on to the eyes. So first I'm using my NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencil in Cottage Cheese, which is basically a shimmering whitish silver, and I'm applying it all over my mobile part of the eyelids, which is going to give that shining effect, and then I'm going to use my finger to blend it in.
Tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the
Then I'm also going to use the same Jumbo eyeshadow pencil on my lower lash line to add some sparkle down there as well, which is really going to open up the eyes, so definitely consider using a lighter shade down there as well. Then I'm going to move on to the eyeshadows, and first I'm going to use my Coastal Scents Aluminium Taupe eyeshadow, and I'm using a short shader brush that actually is also from Coastal Scents to press the color onto the eyelids. And as you can see, the Coastal Scents eyeshadows are really super pigmented and so easy to apply. I'm also blending it a little bit more of it on the lower lash line, and it just gives that really beautiful metallic shine, which is really going to open up the look. Then I'm going to use my Illamasqua eyeshadow in Heroine, which is perfect for contouring both your face but also your crease. So I'm just using it as a transitioning shade in my crease and also slightly blending it with my Bridal Tools crease brush on my brow bone. And then after that we can deepen up the look. It all depends kind of what you want. If you want to make it darker, go ahead and use even darker shades. But I'm using my Timeless Taupe, also from Coastal Scents, with my Sigma E25 brush, just on the outer corner, and then slightly working it into the crease to allow the eyes to have more depth, which is really important, especially for special occasions, because you want to have that depth in the eyes and really want to open up the look as much as possible. Then I'm also going to use just a touch of black. This is MAC's Carbon eyeshadow and a Coastal Scents natural crease brush, and I'm applying it just on the outer corner to allow it to have that gradient effect from dark to light in the inner corner, and this will also provide a lot more dimension to the eyes and overall just tie the whole look together. Then I'm going to go back to my E25 brush to blend everything out. This is really important to make the eyeshadow look blended, because without it, it can look a little bit patchy. And then we can move on to the next step, which is actually eyeliner. I'm using my Linear Intense liquid eyeliner from L'Oreal, which is the blackest long-wearing eyeliner I have ever tried, and I absolutely love it. So I'm using it to create a very subtle wing on the outer corner. The reason why I'm doing this is to elongate the eyes. It's really important to do this, especially with flash photography, where the eyes tend to lose the dimension. You really want to make sure everything looks nice and sharp. So it's also going to help to hide the lash band, because we are going to be using falsies. Obviously, it's a formal event. You want to get that nice wispy look. So before that, I'm actually going to use my Estee Lauder Double Wear mascara in black, so I'm generously applying it on my top and bottom lashes to open up the eyes and prep them for false lashes. Today I'm actually using my Mink lashes in Emerald, which are beautiful and wispy, really open up the eyes, and they also give a lot of drama without looking too overpowering. So definitely recommend these for any social events or anything special where you don't want to look too over the top, you still want to look like yourself. This is the perfect pair to go for, and they're really easy to apply and look super natural. And then the last step is going to be to highlight the eyes. I'm going to use my Nylon eyeshadow from MAC and going back to the Stigma E55 brush to apply it to the inner corners and also on the top of the brow bone to lift up the eyes and make everything look nice and bright.
Well, I think we better go. Seriously, we better go. Said the vet to hear you now. Seriously, we better go. Well, I think we better go.
And then we're done with the eyes and we can move on to the face. So the first thing we're going to be doing is actually concealing the under eye area. And for that I'm actually using my Clinique airbrush concealer in the shade number 1, Fair. And I'm applying it to the center of the face and also underneath the eyes. This really is a great airbrushing concealer because it makes everything look really nice, smooth and flawless. So after that I'm going back to the stippling brush, my MAC 188 I was using for my foundation, to blend it in and look nice and seamless.
You've got a smile that kills me. Your stare is so misleading. You're so beautiful. You know that all that you do takes this heart.
For big events, it's really important to set your makeup in place because it tends to slide off a lot easier than any other days. So I'm using the same brush I was using before and my Too Faced translucent pressed powder to set my whole face. I'm applying actually a very generous layer of powder because on camera it looks very beautiful and smooth, and that's what's gonna give you that airbrush effect. Next, to give back some color, I'm first using my golden bronzer from e.l.f., which is incredible for the money that you're actually paying. It's a really good bronzer, especially for anybody with very fair skin tone. It has a tiny bit of shimmer that doesn't translate onto the skin at all, and it just gives that beautiful warmth. So I'm applying it all over my skin, and then I'm gonna go back to my Heroine eyeshadow from Illamasqua and a smaller, this is actually the setting brush from Real Techniques, to sculpt out the cheekbones. Basically just suck in your cheeks, as you can see I'm kind of doing right here, and just apply the eyeshadow wherever it seems like you have hollow parts in your cheeks. And that's basically the whole point of contouring. You're actually accentuating any shape you have in your face, and this will look beautiful on flash photography and it will just give a lot more dimension to the cheeks. If you want to take one step further with your makeup, definitely you can also contour your nose. Obviously it's also going to give a lot more structure and it will just look a little bit more slender if you do. So I'm using the same brush just on the sides of my nose to make it look a little bit more longer and also more narrow and overall just, you know, a bit more pointy, I guess. But obviously if you're happy with your nose, you don't have to do this step, it's totally optional. And then to give back some color to the face so it doesn't look very golden or too muddy, I'm using my Well Dressed blush from MAC, which actually has tiny flecks of shimmer, which is going to go perfect for any formal event because it's going to give that shine to the skin and make it look really beautiful and healthy. I'm also going to add some highlighter, which I really think for special events is a must. I'm using my Inglow eyeshadow in 453, and I'm using the Coastal Scent small angled blush brush on the tops of my cheekbones and also on the center of my nose. This will make the world of a difference on any photography. And then after that, I'm gonna move on to the lips, and I'm using my Essence lip liner in the shade Wish Me Rose all over my lips. This is going to make the lips stand out because it's gonna give a lot more dimension, and also it's gonna make the lip color I'm gonna be putting on top last a lot longer. And the lip color I'm gonna be using today is actually my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the shade Milan, and it is a mauvey pink, which is kind of bright but more on the neutral side, so perfect for any wedding or any formal event because it is gonna add a lot of color, make you look very healthy but at the same time not over the top. So that actually concludes the whole look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Bye!
You go 'cause you're everything.